We are joined by Andy McCartney. He's the CEO in resident of Microsoft Ventures Accelerator in London, and he's going to tell us a little bit more about the accelerator and his own path in entrepreneurial life. Andy, thank you for the interview.
Thank you for the invite.
Can we start by you telling us what is Microsoft Venture Accelerator?
Wow, that's a big question straight in at the start. Microsoft Ventures Accelerator is all about making startups successful. So we work very closely with different parts of the industry. So we work with the student industry. We work with people that maybe have stepped out of their job and want to move into the startup space. And what we do is we take those people and we try and make them a successful company.
Mm-hmm. What kind of program does the accelerator offer, and what are their offerings?
Sure. So the one that we have in London, it's good to know that we have got 7 accelerators now globally, but one in London specifically. It's a 12-week program. It's very, very intensive. It's very one-to-one. So we work very closely with our partners. So we have legal partners, financial partners, technical partners, and they come in at a weekly basis and actually work directly with these companies. We do not charge, it's zero equity. So whatever the companies come in with, they leave with. And at the end of the program, we put them forward to the VC world in the UK for them to go out and raise their funding. And also during the program, we'll do introductions to our partners and our customers, Microsoft's customers.
Is it only about UK startups or the wider European scene?
Not at all. As you can hear my accent, I'm from Ireland. So if I had my way, I'd have them all Irish, but I'm only joking. But we have had companies now from Japan. We've had companies as far as Nepal. We've had companies from Portugal, Spain. So really, we're finding now that a lot of companies around Europe specifically, they're looking to come into London to tap into the VC community and make it their stepping stone to the rest of the global market.
Is the program helping startups to have an access to Microsoft Ventures per se?
Absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, Microsoft is the original tech startup. So it wants to be engaged as much as possible with these startups. So we do give them access to all the technology that Microsoft is using, whether that be Office and Cloud. We have some fantastic offers as well, where they don't have to spend any dollars to get using that. But again, it's technology agnostic. So again, it's all about making these companies 100% successful. But there is 2 things I always say is really important for a startup. One is that they should have a really kick-ass technology, and 2 is that they should have customers to sell to. And those are the 2 areas that I really focus on Microsoft supporting. At the end of the day, it's got the black book to die for. Everybody wants Microsoft's customers.
Mm-hmm. Is there any program right now running that startups interested can apply to?
Yeah, so the first place I always say all startups to start is on the BizSpark program. So Microsoft has a BizSpark program, it's had for many years, and that is allowing them to get on board with Microsoft. It's a soft way into Microsoft. Then in our accelerators, we have different periods throughout the year where we open up for applications. So the one specifically in London, we'll be opening again applications. It will be at the end of May, and that will be for starting in September.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself? You have worked on your own projects, your own companies, then Microsoft, now Microsoft Ventures Accelerator.
Yeah. So I'm actually pretty surprised Microsoft hasn't fired me, to be perfectly honest. As you can see, I'm not your normal corporate employee. So I spent my whole life, I started my life as a hacker. I'm a total geek, I'm a total techie. I moved on from that, I realized I better make this into a job. And I started at age 20 with my own companies. I spent 10 years of getting it completely wrong and working out how not to build companies. And then I spent the next 10 years taking all those learnings and having a few successes. So I've spent most of my life, over 20 years, as an entrepreneur, and I've actually only been in Microsoft for 2.5 years. So this is really my first job.
So driving from all that experience, what kind of advices would you have for people starting up right now, or existing companies?
Yeah, I would say like there's three things. One is always be driven by your customers, not your investors. At the end of the day, customers are the ones that are going to buy your product. They're the ones that are going to help you iterate your product. So they're the most important thing to you. Secondly is anybody you're bringing in between 1 and 10 employees, they're your founders. So these are people that actually will hug you when it goes wrong, and they will high five you when it's going well. And I suppose, those would be the two ones. Also, going back again, it's not about just raising money. It's about building something that you're proud of, and if you're proud of it, it's genuinely then when you go out to sell it, people are more receptive to it.
Mm-hmm. And finally, working from London and having companies coming to London, what kind of, advice would you give to companies outside of the London ecosystem, how to tap into that ecosystem?
Yeah, it's things like this. Microsoft, one of the reasons I joined Microsoft is it is a global company that has been working with startups, students, small businesses for a long, long time. It just didn't have a large brand around it. It now has Microsoft Ventures. So one of the good ways is come to these type of events and just reach out. That's one. Remember that London is a very, very expensive place as well. So be prepared that when you move into London, it's going to be tough living for a period of time. And also there's lots of accelerators. There's lots of programs going on in London that are global. So, we have Techstars, we've got Y Combinator, we have all our accelerators, and Microsoft actually partners with them. So again, just by connecting with your local Microsoft team, you'll be able to reach out to that group.
Great. Andy, thank you very much for the interview.